lovely friends, welcome or welcome back to Tarot AF. So today I have another pick a card reading for you all, and it's going to be a pep talk today. So we're gonna get some tarot cards on this table alongside some oracle cards and get you the messages, the advice, and maybe a little bit of sass from spirit, depending on how it needs to be delivered to you today, this message. So make sure you're in the right environment, the right setting, in order, and also the right place to get these messages. And obviously, as it is a general reading, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. There may be certain situations which may or not click with you, so don't worry if that is the case. There may be some other bits within that pile, or if you feel drawn to another one, maybe you go and choose that one. You can always come back to the intro and pick again. That's what it's here for. So if you've never been to a pick a card reading before, hello and welcome. So we have got 4 piles for you to pick from today. So we have the Lunar Soleil Tarot with the Fluorite Moon for pile 1. We have the Fortuna Tarot with the Pyrite for pile 2. We have the Ethereal Visions Tarot with the Flower Agate Cube with pile 3. And we have the Mystic Mondays Tarot with the Amethyst Heart for pile 4. So take a moment, see which one is drawing your eye, and what I do is I post the times in the box below and you can meet me there for your reading. I will see you then. Bye. Hi lovely friends of pile 1. So if you picked the Lunar Soleil Tarot and the Fluorite Moon, then this reading is going to be for you. So firstly, we will shuffle your tarot, and I've already got your oracle cards ready and waiting so we can get this pep talk going. And like I said in the intro, I'm going to deliver it however I feel it needs to be delivered. So just make sure you're in the right place to receive it in whichever way it comes. But it's all from this self-exploration and love space. That's all spirit and your guides, that's all that they want for you, is for you to experience that love from them and that support. So we shall get one more card. So we've got the 2 of Pentacles, we have got the 6 of Swords in reverse, the 6 of Wands, we have got Justice, and the Queen of Wands. Great. And on the back we also have the 4 of Wands as well, so I shall remember that. And then in terms of oracle cards, you have Shapeshifter, skill at navigating through different levels of consciousness, ability to see the potential in everything. We have You Are Already Doing It, stop overthinking, keep facing your true north. We have Do Whatever It Takes to Get Closer to Consciousness, and also Have Faith in Your Dreams, waxing crescent moon. So I feel there is maybe this resistance, maybe in some ways. I feel like maybe there is a way that has opened up for you, or an opportunity which maybe you've been presented in this 2 of Pentacles. Maybe it's something maybe to do with your material world, maybe some money coming through, or a new job potentially, or maybe a new relationship, commitment, that kind of thing. And it feels like there maybe has been those initial moments of trying to balance it and see where it balances within your world and see the potential in it, but it doesn't feel like you've actually grounded it yet and actually sown that seed. And I feel like Spirit is saying it's all through this imposter syndrome. We've got the Queen of Wands here, so potentially there is fire in your chart, fire sign placement, so Leo, Sagittarius or Aries. They don't have to be there, but generally I think you are someone that has had a lot of emotional storms come through to you, and there's still this just do it kind of, I'm just going to grab life by the horns and go for it. And it's kind of the goodbye to fear, like I'm just going to go and do it. No one can say what what I should and shouldn't do. It's my time. I'm passionate about this. I see the potential, I see the energy, and that is it, seeing that potential and that dream-like quality to listen to your intuition, your instincts, and really follow that. But for some reason, I feel like this window of opportunity, you're not it. I'm hearing imposter syndrome, because I feel like you know that you are worthy of it. Maybe you've even been manifesting this particular thing, and I feel like you know it's going to lead you to great victory, or you can see the success and the potential there, and how it's all come about through your past actions, your past grind, the work that you've put in. But it's like someone's voice, whether that's your own inner critic or someone else on the shore, is telling you that you can't release something in order to fully take it on. It's like the safety blanket. You want to rip it off. You want to be like, no, I can go it alone. It's like starting to walk for the first time. Actually, no, I can leave that behind and I can just get up and actually go towards it. But there's that niggling feeling. And the thing is, when our fears and anxieties, they can scream at us. They can feel like this Six of Swords, this wrapping around your mind and telling you not to go for that, or like the unknown is scary. It's that kind of Neanderthal like part of the brain, the fight or flight, and or just like stay in safety as well. And I feel like this, whatever it is that you are coming up against, it feels very true to you. Feels like something that you have worked towards for a long time. And the thing is, you've been already working towards it in so many ways. You're already actually doing it, but it's like your mind hasn't quite caught up with it yet. And there are those niggling things, or those things that you keep hearing. And actually, I feel like your intuition is whispering to you that it's okay. And spirit is maybe even potentially trying to show you signs, or the people around you with this Four of Wands are telling you and celebrating you, and it's just somehow it's just not sinking in. It's that jarring feeling of having accomplished something that you've really wanted, or you've got something in your grasp, and yet you can't take that plunge, even though almost every fibre of your being is telling you to. And where I'm hearing that this is coming from is from this consciousness, because we've got shapeshifter, where the different level of consciousness, and we've got this, I do whatever it takes to get closer to consciousness. And it's like in your dreams and everything, you are aligned with that. Your intuition is telling you, or you feel like you've got that instinct of where you want to go. It's the actual physical realm, as it were, your current state. It's like everything else is all aligning. Spirit is aligning with you. Maybe you feel like you see signs all the time, angel numbers, your sign if you ask for signs. And it is this overthinking, this Six of Swords in reverse. Like the way is open for you. And my suspicion is that it may have been someone a long time ago telling you that you shouldn't go down this path, or there was something that got the fear, or maybe it didn't work out in some way. And that's always crept up when you've got close to your dreams. But the past is the past. You're not the same person as you were, whether that's an experience that you went through that didn't succeed, or whether that was when someone said something to you that, you know, you can't do that, or whatever it is. You have changed. You take feedback, you take notes, you evolve, you grow from your experiences, you learn. And all of your seeds, everything that you've learned, every experience that you've ever had has brought you to this moment for a reason. And I feel like it's time to start celebrating you a lot more, and actually realizing how goddamn brilliant you are, and how much you've got yourself to this point, and how much you have overcome and weathered. And through it all, you know what you want, or you know the feeling of what you want, and that's so much more important. Sometimes our end goal, it shifts, it changes all the time because we change, but that feeling of what you deserve and your worthiness, that shouldn't. And I feel like a lot of the time you do know that, but in this situation, there's something somewhere which you need to release. And because everything is there almost when your eyes are closed, when you're dreaming it, and you can visualize it and see it. And it's just that disconnect from your reality. And the annoying thing is you're probably already making steps, making small steps, small movements, or maybe even large strides towards that goal. So it's start to say, I am whatever it is that you want, or whatever you're going for, whatever that manifestation or goal is. I am already that. You're not working to, like, you are obviously working towards it, but you're not almost there. Like, you are going to be there. That feeling of, that is who I am, that is where you need to be. And it's not that there's no pessimism here from you. At least I don't feel like there is. I think you've got a really healthy relationship with whatever it is, because it's a dream, because it's what you've been hoping for, and it's what you love. And that should bring up worthiness for you, that feeling of love, that you are worthy of receiving these things, because that is what Spirit is almost screaming at me. It's like, you are bringing into balance everything that you need to, and you need to release those thoughts or some actions which don't align with this new path. Like I said, that safety blanket, or like the stabilizers on a bike. If you want to start riding the bike properly, eventually the stabilizers are going to go off. You may wobble a little bit. And obviously when it comes to like finances or job and work, it's easier said than done, all of those things. But sometimes we have a little bit of a wobble. Sometimes we have to realign with our center. But eventually we get there. Eventually we are doing it so naturally and walking that path. And I feel like Spirit is almost saying, like, you may have even had a taste of life without the stabilizers and you were okay. And maybe it's time to realize that you are more than okay. You are more than capable of doing all of these things, and it is time to celebrate that. And everything has come about because of what you have done in the past. And that's not an easy feat, learning from the past and making changes. A lot of people can get stuck in a rut and keep sowing the same old seeds time and time again, getting caught up in a pattern, in a loop. But I feel like you've had this truth with yourself, this honest to, this is what I need to be doing, this is my true north. So if you feel like there is a little bit of turmoil, like the ship is rocking, as it were, the calmer waters are ahead. Or maybe if you feel like you're entering the calm waters, but you're like, but I'm expecting a storm any minute now, live moment to moment. There's no, of course, you know, you've got your end post, your end goal, and you should be laser focused on that. And yeah, like I said, it can change, you can move it around, but live there. Live where, like, you are where you're going in so many ways, and the path you're treading, everyone's path can be difficult at different moments. So there's no point comparing it to other people or getting worried about what other people are saying, because everyone is going through things at different times. Sometimes it feels like you've got mirrors, people that are reflecting the same situations back, and that can feel like a nice blanket around you in a lot of ways. And maybe you have that person that seems to be going through that as well, but eventually that might drift. So be dependent on yourself first. And you've got such a strong sense of self and confidence, or you should have that. You have that, all the fire that you need to fuel this dream, to get it going. And I can't say enough that you can release the bag. You can release the bag of all the stuff that you don't need. And, you know, our inner critic will always stay with us. In some ways it whispers safety or things like that, and from our learned behavior. But there comes to a point where if you want something, you got to put it in the corner and just say, you've got a time out. Thank you for your words. I hear you, but actually I'm okay. I'm doing this. So I also want to get you guys some affirmators too. So Spirit, what else do you have to tell pile 1? So we have love. Love is a many splendid thing. Love lifts us up where we belong. A little bit of Moulin Rouge for you. Maybe that film is really quite prevalent for you. Maybe not at all. And there we go. And I've completely embarrassed myself, but that's fine. So love is a many splendid thing. Today I will notice and appreciate at least 3 of those splendors, like the fact that puppies make me feel like a parent, on the surge of self-congratulation I feel when I sink a 3-point trash basket shot on the first try, or how about the chills I get while singing along to insert name of song, you know the one. So it's kind of seeing the world through the possibilities and the potential, like I feel like you already do. And I think it's just that remembering who you are, remembering that sense of self and that love of yourself, that worthiness of, I have gone through some stuff and I'm out of the other side and I'm making all of these things, and have that self-congratulatory feeling all the time, like I am bossing it, I am getting this done, I am doing it. And surrounding yourself with those people that make you feel like that as well, those like-minded people that, you know, are, it doesn't have to even be seeking the same opportunities or anything like that, but who are on that wavelength, on that seeing the world through potential, seeing the world with perpetual happiness. That's the feeling that I feel like Spirit is calling for you to do. But also singing your truth in a lot of ways is what I'm hearing. Like, you've got your true north. You don't have to sing your song to everyone and tell everybody what you're doing, but the people that you know intuitively are your tribe. They're the ones that are going to surround you with love and help dissipate and help you really differentiate between the voice of self-criticism or the voice of other people and their thoughts, as opposed to your intuition, that whisper, because they'll make you feel it. Because if you feel like that click with your soul tribe or with that person, that great affinity, you're aligning to your intuition. And the more you start to do that, even in a small way, like the people you surround yourself in or the situations for growth, the more you're going to start relying on it, and you'll be able to filter out the rest. So we have power as well. I am strong, I am grounded, I am powerful. I am like a cross between a dinosaur and a tank, but not a tank that is used for war. I am like a peaceful, loving dino tank who feels so strong it doesn't need to do anything but be. So I feel like I am strong, I am grounded, I am powerful. If you're not manifesting at the moment, I feel like you should be saying these in front of the mirror. I am strong, I am grounded, I am powerful, because that is all of what the Queen of Wands is, that just do it energy. And the Queen of Wands is not it's a friendly, chaste person who sees, again, the possibilities in anything, follows the energy of the situation, and is loving, is peaceful and optimistic. And you don't need to wage a war on yourself in order to have power. I feel like self-destruction is, or like destroying those thoughts, like I said, that's not the way forward. That's not power. The power is to recognize the difference between those thoughts, the thoughts of others, or your inner critic, and put it in the corner and just say, this is your time out moment. I'm okay. Like sometimes when I'm doing a reading, for instance, like now, if I say something and like a bit like the Moulin Rouge thing and I go off on a tangent, I can hear in my head like, oh, you know, why did you do that? Da, 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 da. And actually that is an inner critic thing. And I'm just like, okay, well, go back over there now. Thank you. This is a different time. This is not about me. This is about you guys. And that's what I just have to tell it. And I think that is your power, is to be able to see the difference and put it away when you need to put it away, and just realize that you are the one in control, and that is your power. the power of love, that is it. Nature as well. It's time to unleash your inner hippie and step outside the man-made box. Take a walk in the woods, smell those flowers, hug some trees. You might think you're being ironic, like, look at me, I'm being all tree huggy and stuff, but you'll find that even then, those trees will hug you back. Trees come from a time before irony, and their earnestness is impervious to our jaded humour. If that doesn't make you want to hug them even more, well, I guess you're a robot. So with the nature thing as well, I think this is all about, for me, is what I'm hearing is your nature, being true and authentic to you, and stepping outside the box of what everyone else is thinking, that man-made box. It's your true north. If you want to go hug some trees, hug some trees. If you want to sit on the sofa and watch Sex and the City all seasons back to back, you do that. Whatever you need to do, whatever makes you feel like you, then do that. Because when you're filling yourself up and giving yourself all of those things, and being authentically you, fueling that power, giving yourself that love, that's when you extend it to others, but extend it to your dreams, and you speak to yourself as a nurturer as opposed to that inner judgmental inner critic. But maybe also with the nature card, get out in nature, get out of, if you have an office, or if that's what this is to do with the job, or if it's to do with your home, if you're moving, whatever it is, get out of the box, as it were, and spend some time with yourself. Go on a walk, go have a podcast, just anything to take you out of the loop of the humdrum. Because if you're going through these thoughts which feel like they're tangling you up, they say, you know, if you think about something before you go to bed and it's worrying you, or you want a solution, in the morning, most of the time your brain has worked through it. I get that when I go out and I go for a walk, listen to my music, whatever it is. Take that time for you. Even if you're going to go and do something, that little bit of time where you're blocking out the rest of the world and it's just you, even if you're filling it up with something like a podcast or music, whatever you want to do, that's when you can quiet those thoughts in your mind. Or sometimes they may rage, but at least then you can unpick and you can identify. And I feel like that's all what Spirit wants you to do, is identify the difference between that inner critic, and which is fueled by other people as well, other people's words and situation, and that intuitive voice. Maybe you need to ask for signs, maybe that is something, but the emotional storm, if you feel like you are going through one right at this moment, you've overcome so many, and there may be a window that is opening for you. So look out for it. You can release all of that stuff, and you can't fit everything through the window. So keeping on top of stuff, and remember that you are in charge. Absolutely. And start celebrating yourself more, please, because I feel like that is something that is definitely coming through as well. So my lovely friends of pile one, I'm going to leave that reading there for you guys today. I really hope it resonated, the advice was useful. I would love to see you guys again. Thank you so much for allowing me to read your cards. If you'd like to see me, please do hit that subscribe button. Until next time, I really hope to see you all there. Sending so much love. Bye. Hi lovely friends of pile 2. So if you picked the Fortuna Tarot and the Pyrite, then this reading is going to be for you. So firstly, we will shuffle your tarot cards, and then what we'll do is we will get your oracles and get into this pep talk. So like I said at the beginning, it's going to be delivered however Spirit kind of delivers it to me. So just make sure you're in that space, but it's all going to be from a place of love, this pep talk, because Spirit, your guides, that's all they want, is for you to experience that, and they want you to receive these messages from that place. But I know it's self-exploration, so sometimes Spirit can reflect. I know I'm very stubborn and sassy, and that can sometimes be reflected by them too. So just bear that in mind as well. So firstly, we have got the Four of Keys, we've got the Seven of Talismans, we've got the Princess of Candles, we have got the Five of Chalices as well. And just one, I was about to say one more. Let's keep going. One more, please, Spirit. One more. Okay, well, there's two more, so I'm going to leave it with two more. And we have the Oracle, and we also have the Chariot as well. Great. And then in terms of Oracle cards, we have Judge, light attributes, balancing justice and compassion, managing the fair distribution of power. We have Don't Dim to Fit In. How are you dimming your light in order to fit in? We also have When I lean on certainty and faith, I change my mind about the world I see. And we have Confidence is your key to success. New Moon in Leo. I just had from The Greatest Showman, I had the A Million Dreams song just come into my mind. So I don't know, maybe you've been listening to that, or maybe you should listen to that. But I really feel strongly with this pile that it feels this Don't Dim to Fit In and this Judge. When I got these out, when I shuffled these, I heard immediately like Judge of Character. And my feeling is that there may be a situation in which maybe there was someone that taught you a lot in a lot of ways, or maybe you're hoping for that teacher to come about now. But I feel like if that person is not a teacher in some way, then fine. But I feel like there is someone that maybe has, it feels like you've emotionally lost someone that you were close to, a support in some way. And that may be in multiple ways. Maybe you've lost them to a situation, like a thought situation, an argument, or maybe there's distance, or whatever it is. I get more the fact that they were almost making you dim your light, and maybe Spirit separated you from this person for a reason, or there seems to be this wedge that has come about, and maybe you don't even know why. And it feels like there is a lot of loss from this, like a lot of emotional ties. And it feels like the brick wall has gone up for you. In terms of your thoughts, you're just like, I need to hide behind, or maybe hide behind a facade in some ways, or I just need to protect myself and almost shut down everything emotionally. So I can work through my thoughts. And it feels like there's this kind of, this kind of suppression in some way. And I feel like you're almost actively waiting either for a spark of conversation to come about with this person, or a sign in some way. Maybe that's even away from this person, aside from Spirit, that you're doing the right thing, or you're waiting for your moment in order to come out after you've sorted through everything. And the main thing that Spirit wants me to tell you is that this dimming to fit in, maybe you were giving too much of your time to this person, too much energy or resources, and maybe they were zapping some of your energy in some way. But either way, it felt like you were dimming your light. And actually, with this Princess of Candles, the Page of Wands in our Rider-Waite deck, it was prevalent that you had your own self-enlightenment, that you were fueling yourself first, and you were following what you loved and being faithful to yourself, faithful to number one, and making yourself the first priority. So you may be in this space of, what could I have done? Like this woulda, coulda, shoulda. Like, what happens if I had done that? What happens if I did this differently? And I feel like there is quite a lot of emphasis potentially on this relationship, and I feel like you're blaming yourself in a lot of ways, and maybe you feel like you've lost confidence and certainty in maybe even a decision that you made. Maybe it wasn't so harsh as it was cut out of your life. Maybe you made a decision, but there's this doubt that seems to be kind of building up potentially. But this is an obstacle, and this is what Spirit wants me to tell you. This is an obstacle on your journey, on your forward movement, on your momentum. And sometimes those are our own doubts and blocks that we put up, and sometimes there are other obstacles. But with this 5 of Chalices, it's really important that you don't skip over any of the emotions that are coming up for you, and you don't suppress it. You don't hide behind. You take that time for yourself. If you have built a wall and that's how you process it, and you're going to be working through those things, okay, but sometimes it's better to tell people as well what you're going through. But it feels like there is this sometimes you can be angry about it, sometimes you can deny those feelings, sometimes you can go in between all of these different avenues and bits. Sometimes you can feel like you're bargaining, and it is a scale. You may go back to the first tip of the scale and then all the way back again and keep flitting to and fro, and that is absolutely okay. No one can tell you when or if or whatever of how you should be feeling or about a situation. But I feel like Spirit is saying through the Oracle, the Hierophant, that potentially there are new things opening up for you, new opportunities, new learning, or maybe this was even a learning experience for you to grow that maybe you're now missing, or maybe you haven't gained that perspective of over the moments. Maybe it still feels like those keys that maybe you're working through, those thoughts are still crossed, like the crossed wires. Maybe you still can't connect all the dots of why this has happened. But with the Judge, balance is going to be coming back. Balance will, as soon as you, with grief and loss of any kind, you've got to bring love into the situation and lean on the faith in yourself in order to change that. And you can do it. I feel like your intuition is calling to you through this Princess of Candles to be faithful to that. And like I said, sometimes it's cut out, maybe voluntarily or involuntarily. And I think you need to trust yourself that you made that decision or it happened. And it's painful, it's hard, we're not skipping over that. But with this 7 of Talismans, the woulda, coulda, shoulda energy doesn't help. There are still things growing, despite maybe the one thing that you had to weed out or the one thing that you had to remove. You've still got so much behind you and going, and there's never really a full stop ending in anything. We may have a series of endings in our life that feels like chapters close at a very similar time, but it's all a cycle. The new beginning is coming about, that is new dawns, and actually there are still things that maybe at the beginning of the cycle in your life that you still need to nurture and grow. So with the Chariot as well, and with the new moon in Leo, the confidence is your key to success down here. With your willpower and determination and letting go, trusting and having faith on the path that you see ahead, and knowing that obstacles are being cut out of your way in order for the world you see to change around you. It's like taking your hand off that steering wheel and let it run, knowing that you've got your destination in sight and it's going to take you there. The Chariot, all that is your willpower and determination. It's you saying, I am allowed to do this, and potentially there is something unlocking within you now, the higher perspective, or maybe it's a book or a person that gives you some key of information that makes you feel like it's your time, that you can come out of maybe this hermit's mode in some way, or this feeling of having to suppress or looking back, and actually set your sights on the horizon of where you want to go. And as soon as you do that, the Chariot just flies because it has to, because it's going to move with or without you in so many ways. So I also want to get some affirmators for you guys. So Spirit, what else do you have to tell my friends of pile 2? What else, Spirit, do you have for them? Okay, well, let's get those. Oh, a perfect 3, that's what we were going for. Okay, so we have engagement. Today I make the conscious choice to engage with the world in an active way. I'll take a new route and talk to strangers. I will smell flowers and pet dogs and maybe walk around barefoot for a while if I'm not inside a 7-Eleven. At the very least, I'll have a day that's slightly more interesting than average, and at the most, I'll have a startling epiphany to make a friend who will change my life forever. No pressure. So I feel like if you have felt disengaged, and like I said, that wall that's coming up, maybe you're missing out on new energy, new opportunities coming towards you. And like I said, maybe there is this high perspective shift through this oracle card, through someone else, through someone who can help unpick, who may have gone through similar things, or maybe it's just the feeling of possibilities, that who knows what's going to happen to you today, getting out of that rut cycle, and of course the person, the relationship, the connection, whatever it was that you have maybe lost, that loss of pleasure that you have felt, or maybe it's just that you don't have the same relationship as that person as you once did. Instead of looking back, you can look forward, because you didn't know this person at one point, unless it's, you know, someone who's been in your life since you were born, but you may not have known this person for loads of informative years. They may have been quite recent in your life, and actually they were someone who changed your life, who's changed the course as well. So there are those new people, maybe in a way that we're not expecting them to come about, to help us on our journey forward, and the confidence in knowing that you are worthy of having those people, and that your success is prevalent to Spirit, and they're going to be bringing about all the resources that you need, the keys that you're hoping for, and having the faith that that is going to change your world, and there's going to be those people that are going to make those impacts, and most importantly, you are going to be making the impact in your life. That's pretty powerful stuff. We also have options. As I am open to the abundant possibilities of my life's path, I'm reminded that I always have unlimited options. Life is a buffet, and I allow myself to choose whatever makes me happiest without limiting thoughts like, you can't put mac and cheese on your baked potato. So the options, again, that unformed through the Princess of Candles, that unformed intuition of being faithful to yourself, wherever your spark is going. But it's also, I see the world as limitless possibilities and options. And I feel like maybe you feel like you've been in hermit mode, or a little bit of hermit mode, that wall going up for a while. And actually, maybe there have been windows of opportunity, teachers coming about, or ways in which that you could move past this situation and start to release it and find that balance. But maybe the compassion hasn't been there for you. But the Wheel card is coming to my mind as well at the moment, the Wheel of Fortune. And it feels like if you it's the continuation of the cycle, like I was saying, the beginnings and endings, and there are always things coming about. You are in control. I don't prescribe to fate. I think much more of destiny, that you come to crossroads in your life and you can choose A and B. And I feel like the options, you are in the driver's seat ultimately, and your chariot is going to go wherever you want your chariot to go. So start having some faith in that, and know that there's maybe diversions, but they may be options as well, seeing them as possibilities. And then lastly, we have perseverance. It seems you're on a massive journey right now, and this card has arrived to remind you that you will reach the other side. The mountain you're climbing is huge and formidable, but so is your ability to climb it. You don't need to enjoy it, you just need to tackle it. Complain if it makes the job easier, blow off steam. You think mountain climbers get to the top of Everest on inspirational quotes? No way. They're grunting and crying and cursing like freaking pirates. That just doesn't sell a lot of posters. So I love that one. I love that. Your perseverance, your willpower, that is key here. And embrace every emotion under the sun and scale whatever gets you to that, as long as you're being faithful to yourself and you're having confidence in your abilities to do it. Doesn't matter how you get there. Obviously, you know, if you feel like you've been had wrong done to you in some way by someone, maybe that's the situation for some people. That may not be for everyone. That's impacted on you as well, so there's no need to do that to others. Your perseverance, how you speak to yourself during this, like, you can be annoyed, you can be crying, whatever it is, you can be cursing, whatever, but as long as you're saying it's all in that goal in the back of your mind of where you're going, then you're going to win. So my glorious friends of pile 2, I'm going to leave that reading there for you guys today. I hope it resonated with you. I hope the advice was useful. I'm sending so much love on the mountain that you're climbing, and if you'd like to see me again, please do hit that subscribe button. Until next time, I'm sending so much love. Bye. Hello lovely friends of pile 3. So if you picked the Ethereal Visions tarot deck and also the flower agate cube, then this reading is going to be for you. So as I said at the intro, in the intro of this video, not at the intro of the video, we are getting a pep talk today from Spirit and your guides. And this is all, even as I said, it may come out as sass, it may come out as whatever way it is, nurturing. It's all from a place of love, and that's what your spirit guides want you to feel, is that it's coming from that way. So I didn't even ask a question and all of them are popping out, but here we go. So we've got the Page of Cups, the 2 of Pentacles. So let's get your messages from your guides. We had one that turned over, Queen of Cups 2. So we've got a lot of water energy coming through as well. Oh wow, okay, King of Cups 2 as well, and we've also got the 7 of Swords right there, and on the back we have got the Knight of Swords 2. And then in terms of oracle cards, we have Mediator, gift for negotiating fairness and strategy in personal and professional life, respect for both sides of an argument. We have Play, have fun, celebrate, don't be so serious. We have I am the loving energy of the universe. And we also have You are good enough, full moon in Virgo. So the first thing that I am hearing from Spirit is, well, we've got a lot of cups, like I said, so potentially there are water signs involved. Maybe you're a water sign, maybe I feel like there is another person within this situation who could be a water sign, or maybe we've got this, and we've also got the Queen of Swords underneath the Knight of Swords, so maybe air sign as well, Libra, Gemini or Aquarius, or very strong in the chart potentially. But it feels like there's been some unfairness going on, some manipulation or some deceit in some ways. Maybe secrets being kept from you, or maybe you are keeping secrets from another person to protect yourself. Whatever it is, I feel like there has been this, with this don't be so serious, I feel like there has felt like this time where it's had to be like either hard choices, or it feels like it's just been a hard time in a lot of ways, a lot of balancing. And I'm hearing balancing of faces as well. Maybe you feel like you've had to split yourself between different things. Maybe that's personal and professional life. Maybe you feel like you've had to put a face on in order to be able to go in, and maybe you're just not feeling like you are loving a face in a way of what you're seeing. Or with this Mediator too, I feel like there is need for mediation within your life in terms of your emotions. Maybe there's been too much excess in your thoughts taking control and ruling, and it feels like it's all stemmed, like I said, from this deceit, from that 7 of Swords, and literally something or someone stealing your thought energy. And it feels like no matter what you've tried to rebalance, no matter how much you feel like you're heart is telling you to follow this direction, or maybe even your guides, maybe you've even been getting messages in that way. It's like your thoughts are taking so much of everything, all of the energy, that your emotions don't even really stand a chance. Like, it's not like a fair side of the argument, like it says on this card. It feels like there is an unfairness, that your mind is taking root, taking hold of everything, and your guides are basically screaming and saying that you are an emotional person, emotionally led. And that is absolutely fine. That your emotions are your strength. They're not your weakness at all. Your vulnerability, knowing that you care and about a situation, that is strong. That is power. It's how you deal with it and you allow the situation to rule over you. That's what matters. And it feels like in this way, it's like you're trying to, you can almost see like the water behind you, like the storm that's being drummed up in some way. And this "you are good enough" is really, really calling, because maybe you don't feel like whatever's happened, that situation, it's hard because a lot of the time it's of someone else's own making, of someone else's agenda, and it's like a thief in broad daylight sort of thing. Like, you can expose, you may not know the full extent of what's happened, but you can see it for what it is that those are their fears and anxieties, which they've either put onto you or this situation, which has thrown you off kilter. And Spirit is basically saying that you guys have the ability to bring love into it, not necessarily to this person, but into yourself first and foremost. And with this introspection, you can then find like the well of what matters to you, that loving energy of the universe. And no matter what this person or situation, whatever's been said, done, happened, it is done now. And it's about how you take it in your stride in a lot of ways. And you are a really established emotional person, I can see that. And, you know, it's hard when you're confronted with someone who wants to trample in and whose inner critic may be quite loud and maybe, like I said, dictate the conversation or say how you should think or feel. But I feel like who you inherently are, you're not that person. You are someone who feels it and has to feel that energy, and don't get thrown into your head because someone else is in their head. You are very established. You are experienced in trusting your emotions. Trust that you have weathered storms like this before and you are able to do it. But also, with this Page of Cups, it's all about the playfulness. Like, be meditative, reflective, but also allow your feelings to be unformed about this. Start from the ground up. You've got such a well of everything. Be fair to yourself. You may be being fair to other people, being an empath, being like, I can see where they're coming from. I know those thoughts. I can identify with those thoughts. But you don't pour yourself, your energy into that other person. Pour it into yourself first and make yourself the priority right now. That is what Spirit is asking you to do. You are strong and stable, and that's maybe why people come to you, or why people may even feel like they can take advantage of you sometimes, is because of your good nature. But that's not right. That is not fair. That is not just. And respect the thoughts that come up in your brain, or the thoughts of a situation that arises, and that, you know, they may feel conflicted to your feelings. Like, your feelings may be that, you know, you want to help this person straight away, but your thoughts may kind of bring you back into yourself, or it could be happening the other way. Listen to both sides of the argument within yourself, and no matter where it's going on. With the Two of Pentacles, it could be happening within your work life, it could be happening within your home life, within a relationship, a commitment, whatever it is. Just know that your guides don't want you to be trampled by the words of others. And some people can be very direct. Some people can come in and put a whirlstorm tornado kind of mode in, but you know yourself internally, and you can put up your boundaries and filter that out. You don't need to take on that energy. And also, you don't need to intellectualize it. You don't need to understand where they are coming from in some way. You'll know, and this is the thing, words, thoughts, they all lie, energy doesn't. You'll be able to read the energy of the situation and see if it is something that you should step up for, or if it's not. So the Seven of Swords, that deceit, it is very real. It's very painful, especially because it feels so blatant and obvious. But this is about your happiness and your recreation, and how you take it in your stride, and how you mold it, and how you move forward. And it is following your heart in this situation, is what I'm hearing. And that's all through that love and that play and that fun, and not getting so bogged down in especially if you can identify it. Maybe it's not even got to that point yet where a plan has been completely scuppered by the actions of another, but it's that thing of, that's not a road or an avenue, that is not you, that is not inherently you, so why adopt the behaviours of another? Why fight fire with fire? If anything, your calming water, your internal state, you choosing that love, that cup energy, that is going to heal the situation so much more by pouring that in. And I feel like your guides as well are trying to communicate with you in some way. There is heavy tones of that throughout. So maybe ask for signs, or angel numbers, look them up if you've been seeing repeated numbers, and maybe they hold a kind of key for you in some respect. And also through meditation and quieting your mind, especially if your mind feels like the thing that is throwing you off kilter and you feel like is taking hold too much. By quieting that through meditation, you can access your authenticity, but also your intuition, which whispers, which is so linked to your emotions too. You know the energy that feels right within your space. So maybe that is something as well that will help you rebalance too. So let's get some more cards for you. I want to get some affirmators as well. But yeah, don't compromise yourself, your values, and who you are for this situation. I think don't fight fire with fire is still coming into mind. It's not your job to, bring about justice for anyone. Be fair to yourself in that respect, and just make sure that your energy is being protected, and that you, if it feels like it does take you off balance, that you correct the course in whichever way that you can. So let's have a look. Yeah. So we have get centered. When it gets to be too much, whatever it is, I close my eyes and return to my center. In my center, I have the wisdom and tranquility of a, in brackets, favorite animal, holding a, in brackets, magical item, floating through space on a, in brackets, piece of furniture. So again, all the answers, and I love this magic 8 ball there as well, the infinity sign it looks like on the side as well, but you have all the answers within you, everything. You are a reflection of above, you are a reflection of your higher self, and if you get centered, you calm your mind, like we were saying, and you focus all of this stuff that may be happening outside, the words, the communication that you feel like you have to have. If you focus that internally, all the energy that you're spending elsewhere, and actually look within, that's where you can find answers. And a lot of the time, the solutions to your problems are already within you. So I feel like that is, again, just another indication of meditation potentially for you. We've got authenticity as well. Authenticity is the name of the game. Whatever comes up, I will feel it. Whatever needs to be said, I will say it. Whoever doesn't get it doesn't have to get it, but at least they know it because I've said it, and that's way better than leaving a passive aggressive note about it. So I literally just said, you know, you don't need to scream it from the rooftops and all of those things, or if you've been focusing excess on that communication and that's not been going through, getting centered, feeling it, and then approaching the situation in a new way and communicating that, and kind of, if they're doing it so blatantly as well, or if a situation is so blatantly taking your thought energy, you can call it out as well if that helps alleviate it too. Like, you don't have to be the one to put down the hammer of justice or anything. You can look at it from a loving situation, but you can say that situation is not helping me at the moment. It's not helping my growth. It's not it's actually hurting my feelings. It's actually not emotionally fulfilling me in any way and helping me. It's actually stinting me at this moment. But yeah, any passive aggressiveness, or not saying that that is something that you may be doing, but any way of you, again, fighting fire with fire. If someone is trampling with their words and their communication style, there's no point of doing that. Find a different approach, because that's not getting through to you. That's not working for you to get onto their side, the way that they're talking. So what's the point of talking back to them in that way? Because that's, one, not who you are, and two, as well, you're not going to believe it when you say it, because that style of talking does not suit you, or you don't feel it, and you are about that feeling. So make sure it comes from there and say your truth. Exactly. We have beauty as well. I'm beautiful even when I don't think it. I'm beautiful even when I don't see it. I'm beautiful no matter how many people don't say it. I'm beautiful and I don't even care if you know it. I'm beautiful, which is why I don't have to try so hard all the time to show it. So exactly, you have such a beautiful nature, which I've already said as well. You've got this great this authenticity about you, and also just a beautiful soul with all of these cups cards as well. You know, someone who people do go to. I wouldn't be surprised if you are an empath in some way, take other people's emotions on, and there is so much beauty to that, beauty to caring. But when we care about what others think and say about us, it can be really, really jarring. It can really hurt if people say things or do things that doubt that. But always, you have got to find the beauty within yourself and know that you are good enough. And it doesn't matter if people aren't reflecting exactly the words that you want back at you. You need to know it in yourself, and you don't need to show anyone. You just need to know that you are being true to yourself, being authentic to yourself, and acting in that way at all times. Not in a way that will help other people through the situation. You've got to do it from your way, because like I said, if you don't believe the words that you're saying, if you're giving advice, or even if it's advice to yourself, you've got to say it in a way that you relate to it, because that comes across, that energy. And it doesn't matter what anyone thinks, doesn't matter what anyone says or does, as long as you put yourself first and you know what you deserve, which is better than this Seven of Swords, deceit, manipulation, whatever that is, that lies, that secrets, then that is helping you get centered, that is finding the beauty within, and that having that respect for yourself is only going to show people what your boundaries are and give you only that energy coming back at you. Because if someone tries to step through that boundaries, it's the wall that's up. They won't be able to get past. So that's really, I think, what Spirit is trying to say for you guys in this pep talk, is that no matter what it is that's throwing you off balance, reassess your boundary, plug in those holes and communicate it to people. Tell people that it's making you feel this way. Get centered within yourself. You know the answers to the questions. You know what situation is making you feel serious, is not making you feel good. And take all the facts and listen to what you are saying, what your internal clock is saying, and know that you should put yourself first. No matter if you're an empath, no matter if you're caring for other people, if you're not looking after yourself and making yourself a first priority, then you can't extend that to others anyway. So you've always got to look out for number one and always be there for yourself. So my glorious friends of pile 3, I'm going to leave this reading here for you guys today. Thank you so much for allowing me to read your cards. I really hope it resonated. I hope the advice was useful. As always, I'm sending so much love to you. If you'd like to see me again, I'd love to see you there. So please do hit that subscribe button. Until next time, all the best, all the love. Bye. Hello, lovely friends of pile 4. So if you picked the Mystic Mondays Tarot and the Amethyst Heart, then this reading is going to be for you. So firstly, we will shuffle your tarot cards for this pep talk, and I've already got your oracle cards ready and waiting. So if you skip past the intro, this pep talk today, brought to you by Spirit and via Tarot AF, very silly, is going to be from this place of love, but you know, depending on how, you know, you just need to be in the right place to receive it, essentially. I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to hear. It may not be necessarily what you want to hear, and if it doesn't resonate with you, if there's a couple of situations, or there's some that do and some that don't, just take what resonates and leave what doesn't. So let's have a look. So we've got the 5 of Cups, we have got the 2 of Pentacles, the 5 of Pentacles, and the 4 of Swords, and then we have the World card 2, and on the back we have the Knight of Cups. So I will put that to that side. And then in terms of oracle cards, we have Messiah serving humanity with humility. We have the ever unfolding rose, crack to open. It's happening for you, not to you. We have I create mindful moments throughout the day, reminding myself that I am love and miracles are natural. And we've also got it's time to take action. New moon in Aries. So firstly, I feel like with the 5 of Cups and the 5 of Pentacles, I feel like there has been a door closed in some area of your life, and I feel like that the 5 Pentacles are to do with your sensational world, so it could be to like about a job, a home situation, potentially school, study, or it could be a commitment or a relationship or something like that. And the 5 of Cups would indicate a very emotional connection to whatever it was, and it feels like there is some need, some physical need, and maybe even material need after this door has closed. And it feels like you just can't see the way out at the moment, and it feels like you are completely thrown into your head and almost shutting yourself down with this 4 of Swords, and actively waiting for your opportunity to come back out again, but trying to desperately work through the thought of, why has this happened to me? And it feels very much like that at the moment, this why is this happening? And I can feel the frustration, I can feel the pain, the sorrow, and especially if it feels like it's taking you away from the sights that you were hoping to see in this World card, this maybe your big ambition or your big milestone or the big goal that you had in place, and maybe you felt like you were working towards that. If that has been completely shut down and it feels like that path is completely cut off to you now, of course that's going to bring up pain. Of course emotionally you're going to feel that loss, and everything that you are feeling right now, no one can tell you how to feel, what to feel, when to feel it. It's different for everybody, this grief or sorrow or pain. You have to embrace every element of it, because you can be angry in one moment, you can be bargaining, you can be absolutely past it and accepting it, but ultimately you could go back and forth. It's a scale. It's not a step-by-step thing at the moment, and it can stay with you for years, it can stay with you for a week, an hour, whatever it is. Everybody is different. So you take your time and you work through your thoughts, but know that your window is coming. And maybe it's even already here in some respects. Maybe with this Two of Pentacles, there's already something, this new cycle coming in for you, something else for you to grasp hold of. But maybe you're focusing on what you don't have in some respects, the loss that you're feeling, that you can't see these new possibilities. And actually everything is happening for you and not to you. So people aren't closing doors to you, like as in because of you, it's for you. And sometimes spirit can cut and separate us from things that we don't need in our lives anymore, or actually things that are hindering us from our goal, or to help realign our goalposts so we can step onto our highest path for our highest good. We may not understand it. We may understand it later and see the perspective shift of that needed to happen in order for me to find this element of my happiness. But at the time it's raw, it hurts, of course it is. But it's happening for your highest good. And with this Messiah serving humanity with humility, Spirit is saying, you know what your highest goal, or maybe you don't feel it, or maybe you have a hint of what that is now, but that's calling your path, where you want to go, that goal in sight. And I feel like with the Messiah card serving humanity with humility, maybe you are meant for a spiritual path. Maybe you are treading that way, or giving to others in some respect, or maybe through you going on your path, maybe it's not even something that directly feels like it will uplift, or it indirectly maybe it does. I feel like it is through your humility and through this path that you are going to change and create miracles for people and spread that love. And I feel like your highest path to good is something that Spirit is trying to get you onto. And again, it's ever unfolding. There's things that are still unraveling for you, things happening in the background. And I know it hurts. I know the door closing hurt, and it's easy to say, but oh, but it's helping you onto this path, so great. No, okay, that you were working towards something. It hurts that it gets cut off, and you can look at all the other opportunities, but if you're not feeling in that space to receive them, then of course it's not going to feel like I can skip past this, because sometimes you get that doubt of, well, if I was getting cut off from these things, why am I being given new things? So actually maybe they're not meant for me. And that's in some ways living through that lens of fear as opposed to love, and aligning to the fear of going for what you want. Because I know most of my fears are from that space of lacking the thing that I want. So, a fear will come up because I'm worried that I won't be on my highest path, or I won't be doing that. And it stems from there. It stems from the paradoxically of having that void of something that I love. And maybe you feel like you're experiencing that at the moment. You've been thrown into that fear state. But just remember and try and align with the love of why you care so much, because your vulnerability is your strength as well. You being vulnerable to love and showing people the destination that you want to go on, your hopes and dreams and aspirations, that is exposing yourself, that is cracking yourself open. And maybe you feel like you've had to take this time to kind of actively wait for your window, sort out your thoughts, detangle them, but it feels like there is never an ending cycle. Things are still going round for you, and there are opportunities opening up. And like I say, sometimes we have to be separated or cut off from things, and it doesn't make it any easier, in order for us to then find some new known security, to find the different path, to find a different avenue, because maybe the way that we were going was going to lead to a block in the road. And Spirit is saying that through this Knight of Cups, you the love that you deserve, or the love that you have for this end goal, plug that into your emotional GPS and know that you can work persistently and steadily towards that. Come in with your message through the way of love. Tell people from a loving space of what you want and take action towards that. Small baby steps, even if it is just small, because every single step that you take over an amount of time, you're going to look back and see how far you've come, slowly but surely. And it's hard when you do bear yourself open, but the emotions that you are going through and that grief and that sorrow, like I said, the love dispels fear and anxiety in a lot of ways, and the love around you and from other people as well. You're not fighting this alone, and there are always those relationships in the background, and that is one thing that will help you realize that the flow is never ending. And maybe someone will even help you open a window, but I feel like it's almost time to start relating and telling people with your humility, by saying like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing, like a messiah, like a prophet, like this is my ode to myself of what I want to do in a lot of ways. And with this, I create mindful moments throughout the day, reminding myself, like I said, baby steps, small. And I got this really specific message come through when this card, when I popped it down, of sometimes, and maybe you've been through this period and maybe you feel like you're coming out of it and there is a new opportunity, and maybe it feels like a bit of a miracle in some way that is happening to you. And remind yourself that no matter what you've been through, you are deserving of new opportunities and new possibilities. So if that window has opened for you and you're doubting whether that window is for you, don't. Because like I said, spirit can sometimes help cut and break us away from things. It also brings stuff about for us. So you can drop the old energy and release that in order to embrace something new. And it may feel like a miracle, but it's happening for you. Everything is happening for you, for your growth towards that end goal. If that is what you're keeping in your emotional GPS, and you know that you are worthy of finding it and you are doing it for the right intentions, which I feel like you absolutely are. So remember that miracles are possible and take action towards them, grasp them, take them by the horns, as it were. This new moon in Aries, new things are dawning. I mean, Aries, first of our zodiac, but also new moon. New beginnings, new transitions, and this is a transition, it's a transitionary period, and you can move past this. You can find your way, you can embrace that window of opportunity, keep your goal in mind. Absolutely. So let's get some affirmators as well for you. So Spirit, what else do you have to pile for? What else do you have to tell pile 4? What other messages do you have for them? Okay, great. So we have spontaneity. Do you like spontaneous adventures of the highest caliber? The only acceptable answer to this question is yes. So buckle up, Charlie. There's a pretty good chance your name is not Charlie. You're about to take a wild ride through the unexplored, unconventional, and underrated. You're about to learn that yes is a magic word with the power to unlock new dimensions in space, time, and after-hours hangouts. Yes will lead you to experiences you didn't think possible and teach you that lifelong friendships are sometimes lurking just behind a karaoke singer's mullet. So like we were saying, the lack of known security that you may be feeling at this moment, or the possibility that may be coming, sometimes it feels like a miracle, sometimes it feels very spontaneous, or maybe that energy just clicks with you in some way, but it's because of the feeling of aligning to your emotional GPS in so many ways. And it may feel unconventional, it may feel like completely out of the blue and different to the path that you felt treading, but sometimes the most beautiful diversions are away. Diversions are on the path to our highest good. And maybe, like I said, you were coming up to a roadblock, or it's like kind of you having your, it's like being in a maze and having your goal at the end. And it's like in Harry Potter, the ever-changing maze where it like blocks out. I mean, we don't want to go into that maze, but you know, I won't I'm like, trigger warnings, but it's like like, oh, caution, people may be reading it for the first time, so I'm not going to say what happens, but it's like the maze that closes and diverts you to a particular thing, but sometimes it gets you close to that goal. So the yes, and also saying yes, the power of yes, also the power of no, like saying no to things that don't align with your energy, but the yes to new energy coming in, because that's when you can see whether it works for you. You can see whether that recreation, whether aligning with that energy is going to help you or not, because you can always say yes, and at any time you can put a stop to it if you need to. But again, all the possibilities coming towards you are happening for you, happening for you to decide. Everything is not fated. I don't personally prescribe to that. You have free will. You can absolutely pick and choose what you want. You've got these options, so make your choices. We've also got beauty. I'm beautiful even when I don't think it. I'm beautiful even when I don't see it. I'm beautiful no matter how many people don't say it. I'm beautiful and I don't even care if you know it. I'm beautiful, which is why I don't have to try so hard all the time to show it. So again, your path is different to everybody else's. Your world, your goals, your ambitions are not always the same as everybody else's. As long as you see the beauty within yourself and within your plans and your dreams and your desires, that's the only thing that matters. It doesn't matter if people are reflecting that back at you. You know, you may want to do something completely different to another person, so they may not say to you, oh, this is wonderful, that's a beautiful thing that you want to do. It doesn't matter. You can still extend that to others, that's fine, because that may be your nature of helping and bolstering up other people, but you don't need to expect that from other people. As long as you believe it yourself and you know your thoughts, you know your emotions, and you know what it is that you want, then it doesn't matter what anybody else is thinking. You've got to take action towards what you want to do, and you can serve people by being unapologetically you, because you are always going to be aligning with love and therefore bringing love and miracles throughout the day to other people as well, because people will feel that infectious energy and feel healed and reassured, because when someone is being authentic and themselves and uncaring, that inspires that from others too. We've also got impermanence. Life is always changing, and I drift easily through those changes, good and bad. As I drift through hard times, I can take comfort in knowing that I will leave them behind. As I drift away from good times, I can take comfort in knowing that more will come my way. Impermanence is an equal opportunity non-entity. Sorry. So I feel like, again, like we were saying about the maze, in some ways is what I saw there, that, you know, things are changing. Your end goal changes as you change too, and diversions sometimes happen, you know, and there is that impermanence. Nothing is set in stone. You have free will. You can change your mind. You can change your decisions. Your behavior in this present moment is going to affect your future outcomes. So the hard times that you may be facing at the moment, if it's thrown you into that lens of fear, if it feels like a really tough time, which I'm sure emotionally it must do, especially if you're feeling this pain and this lack of security, know that you are leaving this behind as well, and nothing truly ever ends. It's always in a cycle. Like, you are going to have that dawn, you are going to have that new beginning, because paradoxically sometimes we need to feel the void of something, like I was saying, the void of love, in order to then fully embrace and see that good. So know that the good is coming your way and miracles are happening for you. There are things that are in place in order to help you get to that goal. Know that you are worthy of receiving all of those opportunities, and it is up to you on where you want to steer your ship. And the clearer waters are approaching. Just be healed by your heart of how big it is and how large it is when it's going towards its goal, and that feeling of deserving. And don't skip past the bad, because the bad happens to us, the hard times, so you can leave them behind and you can have that higher perspective and that learning. That is a challenge, to create a before and an after effect. So if you're going through this challenge at the moment, of course, try and see all the opportunities that may come, and that is something that does, but just remember that it's helping you reassess your boundaries and helping you find the beauty in your goal, and actually the purity within your heart of why you want to go for that goal, because that will help uplift you to take action towards it. So my glorious friends of Path 4, I'm going to leave that reading there for you guys today. I hope it resonated with you. I hope the advice was useful. I'd love to hear in the comments if it was. Thank you so much for allowing me to read your cards today. I really loved reading them for you guys. If you'd like to see me again, please do hit that subscribe button. Until next time, I'm sending so much love. And yeah, hopefully see you soon. Bye.